Hey, it's Nixalina. Welcome back to another episode of Me. This week, we're going to delve deep into the archives, and I've fished out one of my personal favourite episodes for all of the new listeners joining in to enjoy. This podcast contains strong language and discussions about relationships, sex, and love. It may not be suitable for younger listeners. This is the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast, and I am Nixalina. Hello, it's Nixalina back with another episode, and this time I am discussing how do you know if you should get back together with your ex? Let's have a moment to ponder. The reason I believe that this needs to be discussed is because lots of people message me asking me, Nix, I just want your opinion. I was dating this guy, but then he said no, he wasn't interested. And then 6 months later, he's come back and I don't know what to do. And I still like him, but I don't know if he blah, blah, like that drill. So I get a lot of those. I also personally, as we all know, if we'd stayed in keeping with the old podcast and blog, I got back with my ex and then it didn't work out. So I kind of remember all those feelings, like we had about 5 months apart and then we got back together and then now separated for good. So I was just wondering to myself and thinking about all these messages I get, like, how do you really know? How do you know if you should get back together or it's just a bad fucking idea, leave it well alone? So I'm just going to ramble off some ideas. This isn't like a definitive guide because it's such a subjective idea and everything is case by case. And like myself, I believed with my whole heart that I was doing the right thing, that I was getting back with him because I love him and he loves me and we'd worked through our shit and we're going to be amazing. And we didn't last, So even when I think I have all the answers, I don't. So this is more of a guess or just a conversation, but it's one-sided because I can't hear you guys. But please talk to me in your head at least. The first thing I wanted to talk about is pain and wounds. Is the past pain truly forgiven? Are your wounds really healed? This is one of the first things I think when you think, do I get back with my ex? Obviously, male or female. This is a very unisex episode. Is that pain that caused you to split up, is it genuinely forgiven? Not just, oh, well, I'll get over it, or I love you so much, I'll move on. Have you really healed, right? Because if not, getting back together is going to be putting a plaster over a fucking bullet wound. You might feel like you've done a good job for a bit and not long, that wound is going to seep and open up and blood's going to be fucking everywhere. And yes, that got dark, but let's roll with it. You need to know in your whole heart, don't try and kid yourself, that you too have forgiven that pain and those wounds are healed. It's not going to be like a quick 1 month off, like let's get back together thing. If you've had some seriously painful, damaging experiences which have led to the split in the first place, you need to really address it, both separately and then in conversation together if you can, so that you know that you're both on the same page with this, reconciliation. And you go, okay, I can sense and feel that we've both really let it go. If you haven't, do not get back together. If you believe there is no way I can forgive that, there is no way I can ever let go of how they treated me, and there's no way I will ever understand what they did or be okay with it, don't get back together. Trust me, don't. My next port of call for this was thinking about, have you really wholly embraced a life without them? And what I mean by this is, have you really accepted your single status, or are you still clinging on to this idea that you will rekindle your flame? Because to get back together, you really have to be single. You have to embrace your life without them. your goals without them, your future without them. You have to understand that you are single now and be okay with it. Nay, love it. You need to love it. You need to love your life the way it is. You need to properly disconnect and cut off from this person. Even though you love them, even though you believe they're your soulmate and you believe with your whole heart that something will happen in the future, or, you're mentally begging for them to come and knock at your door, you have to disconnect and cut off, because the only way you know for sure if you belong together is living a life not together. You've broken up for a reason, whatever that reason may be. Could be family have intervened, or one of you's cheated, or you argue all the time. You maybe have broken up because you're doing long distance or because of COVID. Whatever the reason, you have to disconnect and cut off and really embrace being alone. Cannot stress that enough. Then I want you to think about, is it just jealousy? Are you jealous because you don't like the idea of them with someone else? Are you jealous because that's, in your head, your partner, your property, your other half? You don't want anyone else touching your partner. You don't want to share your partner. Is it just this jealous emotion you have over this person for your memories and your past history that makes you think that you should be together again? Because if that's your driving force, well, I don't want anyone else to have them, so I must still love them. That's so not right. It's a completely normal reaction, don't get me wrong. Like, if I think about my ex as someone else, I want to rip his face off, I guess. But rip it off nicely so I could put it back on again and make him look pretty. But yeah, obviously that emotion is normal. But if that's the only thing, the main factor that you're holding on to, then no, that's not a good enough reason. The same goes for loneliness. Are you just lonely? Being alone is not the same as being lonely. And I think that's a really important distinction to make. In fact, I'm going to write a blog about it because I love being alone. Being alone is a fact, but being lonely is a choice. And believe it or not, you're making that choice. If you can't handle being lonely and that's a driving force to get back with your ex, that is also not a good enough reason. Once again, very normal emotion. You've gone from this relationship, whether it was 6 months, 3 months, 5 years, however long it was, to nothing. It's, fucking lonely. It really is. But you can choose not to be lonely and you can be happy being alone. And that is one of the most liberating mindsets to have, is when you're happy being alone. It's fantastic. And I've rocked that. I fucking love being alone. No fucking stress. Another thing to think about is, have you dated other people? So obviously I understand this isn't being alone, this is you dating other people. But what I mean is, have you explored the idea of other people in your life? How are you going to know if this person you used to be with is your soulmate unless you've dated other people and realised that they are or they're not? Your soulmate could be just around the corner, but you're not going on dates or meeting anyone because you're still lamenting about your past love, and stuck in your memories. I'm not saying you should, go and get on Tinder and go and date every single bloody man that you can swipe to, you match to, but don't rule out the concept of dating other people. Of course, if you do get back together, this is going to really fucking hurt both of you. Like, oh, hey, I actually went on a date with this chick or this chick, and I went on a date with this guy. But if it means you've both got such clarity now to say, fucking hell, you and I forever, like, there's no way I want anyone else. I know there's no way I want anyone else because I tried other people. I went on dates. It was nothing. It felt flat and muted and futile, and all I do is think about you. That's what we want. So open up your mind to dating other people, meeting other people, and just seeing where it goes, and allow that space to perhaps be a positive space. Perhaps you might meet someone who's a little better for you. Have you given it enough time since the separation? I want you to think about that as well. If it's been 2 or 3 weeks and you're like, no, no, I got to get back with them. I should get back with them. It's been 3 weeks. You shouldn't be doing fucking anything. In fact, you should give yourself 3 months is what I would suggest. Minimum 3 months. A good 6 months would be fantastic if you can, before you actively try and get back together. You've got to give yourself enough time to heal over the pain of the breakup. Because all we do is we're all fucked with our emotions. We're in so much agony. And what makes that agony go away is that person. But they also were part of the problem. They're the cure and the curse, right? They're part of the reason you feel like this. So you automatically want to go and get the comfort and go and cuddle them and have that, oh my God, I love you too, that security. That won't last. You will then slip back into your old ways. All those past trauma and wounds will be unhealed still. You've got to give it time. You really have. Don't jump as soon as you can back into the relationship. What you also have to do is reflect on both the good and the bad, not just the good. So I don't want you idolizing your ex, because we as human beings, we tend to do that, right? So you tend over time to slowly forget that pain. You forget the bad stuff. You think, oh, actually, remember when they did this, remember that? And suddenly every photo on your Facebook or your Instagram is a really good memory, and it just floats all the way up, and all that pain that you've now buried starts to go away, and we forget what happened. And we then idolize the past person. We idolize that relationship. Oh my God, how could I have let it go? It was amazing. It fucking wasn't amazing. Because if it was, you'd still be fucking together and this break wouldn't have happened, right? Be realistic with how you reflect mentally on this. And I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that it wasn't amazing or that you two aren't destined to be together. I just don't want you leaving the relationship and idolizing your past partner, because that is not healthy and it's not helpful either. And it's actually counterintuitive to getting back together, because you shouldn't get back with someone that you're in this mindset of putting them on the pedestal again, because that's not a partnership. That's you putting someone on a pedestal. And talking about them on a pedestal, have they grown up? Have they embraced and amended their ways? This isn't all just on you. I believe you also need to see and hear and think and feel that this person, who is perhaps trying to get back with you too, has addressed their shit. It's no good you going through everything I've said in this podcast, tick, 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 amazing, yep. And the other person's like, nah. But I still love you, so let's do it. You have to both grow. He and she, who, both parties here, they have to also step up, and they have to agree that whatever happened in the past, with you is healed. They have to forgive whatever they need to forgive their end, because perhaps you weren't quite the saint either. And they have to say, hey, yeah, I've spent my time. I've looked inwards, I've reflected, I understood that I should never have said that and done that. I'm never going to disrespect you like that again, that's for sure. I have been on dates, and the dates were awful, and I was just thinking about you. It's been 6 months, it's been 12 months, it's been 2 years, and I just don't want anyone else, and I know for sure that it's you. That's what you should be getting. If you both have that growth and healing and time and mindset, then I genuinely believe you can definitely make it work. And that's what I want to end on a positive note, because this sounds like it's a negative episode where it's like, oh, if you're going to get back with your ex, you need to do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this first. But getting back with your ex-partner is something amazing, right? And it can be lots and lots of couples have a break. It's not uncommon. And then after they've had a break, they get married and have babies and live forever and a day. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's the same in your case. Obviously, this is all case by case, but there is a huge positive option there for a happy future. Yes, I do love a good love story, and people finding each other again makes me very happy. And people healing and moving forwards and learning and growing makes me very happy as well. Sometimes, unfortunately, it does take you to lose what you've got for you to realise what we've got. As the cliche as it sounds, you only realise what you have until it's gone. And I believe that's, it's a human condition that's applicable to all of us. So, don't be too hard on yourself if that's the case. That kind of mindset leads to a lot of breakups, a lot of people thinking there's better off out there, which is why I'm so strong about encouraging dating, because you got to go out there to realize that the grass is not greener. So yes, I hope that's helped. If you are considering getting back with your ex, please do listen to what I've said, because I wish someone had given me this advice back when I did it. Unfortunately, no one did, and it was a shit show. And I'm still living with the consequences. So yes, imparting my knowledge, personal experience onto you to hopefully help you guys out. And yeah, if you do get back together, I love a good love story. So let me know. Send me your stories, please, of happiness on my Instagram at Nixalina, Nixalina. Peace out. Thanks for listening to the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast. Produced and hosted by me, Nixalina, and recorded in the Splice Cast Studios in Singapore. I'm available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and all major podcast listening apps. Do subscribe to enjoy a new episode every Monday evening. Please do give me a 5-star review. It helps other people also find my podcast. For more content and features to read, you can check out my website, Nixalina.com. That's Nixalina.com. I'm also on social media. Simply search at Nixalina, Nixalina, to find me. Don't be shy. Come say hi.